These lovely aging pine boards from this beautiful old barn is hiding a little secret. Yes, it's a barn find. But is it a classic car? Sort of. It's actually a part of my childhood, something I want to share with you. And I'm gonna. But before we do that, there's something else I need to talk about. Right. Now, the interesting thing about being a kind of part-time YouTuber isn't the copious amounts of money that I get for doing these videos. Yeah, boy! Honestly, you don't. It costs way more money to make these videos than you actually earn. I do it for fun. I really do, honestly. No, the interesting thing is I get a lot of information on the analytics, and it tells me a lot about you, about what you're watching and what kind of things you like. One thing I do know is that most of my audience is of the same vintage as me, and you're pretty much all men. Now, that got me thinking, because in a few days' time I'm 53 years of age. Yes, it's my birthday. Hard to believe, I know, with these looks and this charming winning smile. But it did get me thinking, how am I going to spend my 53rd birthday? How are you going to spend your next birthday? Well, I can tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to work, do a full day's work, come home, have dinner, open a couple of birthday cards from the kids, you know, they're keeping their hand in for the inheritance, and then probably watch a bit of TV and go to bed. That's perfectly fine. I'm not looking for sympathy, because you and I, we all do that. That's normal, everyday, dull life. And that's fine, that's perfectly fine. We can't all live an exciting life. When I say we can't, I don't think anybody does, do they? How can you live every day, every moment of your life, absolutely 100% excitement? You can't. Your brain would get absolutely addled and you get full up, wouldn't you? It's no good. But anyway, so normal, everyday, boring life resumes, and that is fine. I'm not saying we've all got dull lives now. Of course we haven't. We all like to do things to fill in the gaps every now and again, whether it's going on holiday or whatever. You and I, though, if you're watching this, I think I know what you like. You like what I like. I'm talking cars, 4x4s, motorbikes, those things that just take you away somewhere, give you that moment of glory and excitement. And I've got one I want to share with you. It's behind the barn. Come on, let's go and have a look. Oh my God, look at all the cobwebs. Absolutely filthy. Let's get some light to it. Blimey. I'm pretty sure that some of you watching this now are thinking, that's a lovely looking 1930s classic original. But I know as well there's a lot of you know exactly what this is. I think we need to get it all uncovered and get a bit more light in it, because it is very dark, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Okay. Spiders! Wow. Yeah, you know what this is. It's a kit car, isn't it? Of course. And this is a Beaufort, built in 1985. I'm going to try and drag it out, put these guns to work, and have a better look at it. Yep, it's jammed up. I think the brakes might be a bit seized. I'll give it another go. I think it was in park. dust on it, look. Oh my God, look. What a mess. Wow. So, back in the 80s, I'm all out of breath. Sorry about that, I'm covered in dust as well. Back in the 80s, you may remember there was a massive explosion in kit cars. Mostly, I think, because the industry wasn't regulated like it is now, so loads of manufacturers could build all kinds of stuff. This, in my opinion, the Beaufort, was one of the better ones. There were some really rubbish ones out there, but this was a good one. I also remember there was the Eagle SS. I'll see if I can find a picture for it. Eagle RV, the Nova, Dax Cobra, and like Ferrari replicas. They're all really, really good cars. But this one, why is it part of my childhood? Well, this particular car belongs to my dad, and it was 1985 when he built it, and then I was, what, 15 years of age, and he had a workshop that was 2 miles from home. So, Saturday morning, you can picture it. I'm having a nice lie-in, don't really want to do much. He'd come into my room, he'd say, "Come on, Errol, I need you at the workshop, I need another set of hands to help me do something or whatever." Oh, okay. So off we go to the workshop, and I'd help him build whatever he needed to do on that day, and then he didn't need me anymore, and I'd say, "Oh, Dad, can you give me a lift home?" And he was like, "Son, it's 2 miles away, just walk home." I'm 15 years of age, 2 miles. Yeah, no 15-year-old's gonna walk 2 miles, are they? Come on, let's get real. So, and so another thing is that when he was building it, to me, this was just an old man's car, you know? It was, I mean, look at it. I mean, it's beautiful, but from a 15-year-old's point of view, no, I didn't want to be seen dead in this thing, not a chance. Yeah, so that's why it's part of my childhood, you know? I hated this vehicle for so long. But of course, you know, we all grow up, and I look at this with very different eyes now. I genuinely really think this is a great looking vehicle. And the best bit is that I now think I'm old enough to drive this and I could pull it off. I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm getting damn close to it, I'd say. Yeah, I reckon maybe next summer, me and the Beaufort down on the Med, if it makes it there, because we've got a bit of work to do. We really have. All right, I want to show you a couple of bits. Now, I mentioned earlier whether or not this was a classic or not. It's a 1985 build. The original Beauforts, by the way, I forgot to mention, the back section of them in 1985 was a actual Mini, but without the engine and the bonnet bit. But they then made the 2-door version convertible, and later on they did the 4-door version. And you're probably aware it was very popular with the wedding market. You see loads of those in the wedding market. But this one, there is a bit about it that is quite old. It's the engine. Ooh, that needs a bit of a clean. Okay, so what we got here is a straight 6, and this is out of a Nissan Datsun. I think it was the 260ZX at the time, or was it the 280? I'm not 100% sure. But this engine, I think, is about a really early 80s, maybe 79 or something like that. You can pretty much put any engine in one of these Beauforts. Front and rear running gear was also for Sierra or a Cortina. It was all pretty much the same. This hasn't been run for about 6 years, because I did come here 6 years ago and fire it up to make sure it's okay. Otherwise, it's just sat doing nothing. And prior to that, it sat for like decades. Well, at least a decade. Right, I'm going to start it up in a minute because I've got a new battery, but we're going to have a look at the interior. Right, well, here we are on the inside. Steering wheel, dials, lots of them. A little bit of mould on the carpet, mine, so I think that needs a good clean. And it is an automatic, you can see down there as well. He did some funny things, to be fair. He put carpet, you see that? Carpet on the armrest. Why did you do that, Dad? Why? Weird. Anyway, otherwise, in pretty good shape. Look, in the back there. Not bad at all. It's hardly ever got used. I know he went down to the south of France a couple of times in it and he did some weddings, but that was about it. It's in great condition. Right, let's see if we can get the thing started. Battery on. Now some fuel. Now my dad did tell me that the fuel pump has problems sucking it up from the back of the fuel tank to the front, so I might have to unplumb it, suck it with my mouth and try them, but we'll give it a go first. You never know your luck. Let's give it a go. Ring neutral, I think. Oh, that's park. Oh, I've got power. I can hear the pump. How do we do this? Nothing. Nothing. That was there. Was it neutral? I think I've been neutral. Well, we've got lights. That's a good start, but it's absolutely dead. All right, well, that didn't go very well, did it? The good news is we got fuel. Fuel pump definitely did it, and in fact, there's a bit of a leak here of fuel, so we're definitely getting fuel, and it's dripping down here as well. Got fuel dripping off there, so out the carb. So we've got fuel, that's a good start, but we're not getting anything to the solenoid of the starter motor. Oh dear. I don't know if I've got time to sort this today. Might have to come back for a part 2. Okay, right, well, having looked at the engine a bit closer, there's a lot of fuel leaking out the carburettor and all the cables running from the battery up to everything else. There's so much corrosion there. I really think I need to get it to the workshop, test everything and clean everything up. I think I was kind of hoping for the best of hopes that it would work first time, but it's not to be today, I'm afraid. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope sharing my childhood woes with you has helped somewhat, and yeah, that's it really. I'll see you in the next episode. I'm not sure we're going to get this to the workshop, but hopefully in the next few months. Thanks again, take care.